Hi all, this is Allmighty and welcome to this video. So today I wanted to show you another video, a much shorter video, at least the game part, because at the end of the video I prepared a little announcement. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and yeah, wait until the end of the video, or you can just skip the game and go to the announcement. But okay, let's go first to the game. So I prepared a game played in the Sharjah Masters. It was actually a game going around Twitter a little bit a couple of days ago. It is a game from round 4. So currently round 6 is finishing up in the Sharjah Masters. So quite a strong tournament. You have players over 2700. You have a lot of players with 2600 playing. So a lot of strong players. And one of those are here Yurij Kryvoruchko, one of the strongest Ukrainian grandmasters, and also Baskaran Adhiban, an Indian grandmaster who probably some of you know won the Reykjavik Chess Open, also known as Bobby Fischer Memorial Tournament. So yeah, Baskaran Adhiban, yeah, that tournament was played right around the time when the candidates were also played, so that was in that time. For some of you who don't know, definitely you can also check out some games from that tournament. But okay, let me just show you quickly this game. It is a game, pretty short game consisting of 21 moves, and it's played in Caro-Kann. We have d4, d5, and the advanced variation. So this would be quite an interesting game for some of you who play the Caro-Kann, especially with the black pieces. Here Kryvoruchko is white and Adhiban is black, and we have the advanced variation and the c5 move, not going for bishop to f5, and now d captures on c5. And the reason here Kryvoruchko goes for this is the following. After e6, knight to f3, and bishop to c5, he plays a3. And now his idea is to push b4 and c4. So a very quick expansion on the queen side, picking up a lot of space there, and developing the bishop on b2 and bishop to d3. So this is this kind of ideas in this opening. So we have knight to e7 and bishop to d3, and now knight to g6. Yeah, adding an attacker on the e5 square, and also if bishop captures on g6 at any point, here pawn from h pawn will capture on g6, and it will open the h file, attacking here the king, because here white goes to castles as usual. We have knight to c6, another attacker on e5, but now b4 with tempo. Bishop to b6, keeping this diagonal, and now bishop to b2. You had two options here. You could have played rook to e1 or bishop to b2. You have to defend on e5, but with playing bishop to b2, you allow knight to f4, which Adhiban plays. Now we have c4, and now Adhiban doesn't want to go for knight to d3. There is no hurry. This knight is very good here. He is also attacking on g2, so there are some kind of threats. Yeah, essentially by taking on d3, you would take white's bishop pair. But as I said, there is no hurry, so you can also do it later. So we have castles here, and now there are a couple of options here for white. You can take on d5. I mean, you can take on d5, but you don't want to, because after queen to d5 and bishop to c2, bishop was attacked twice. Knight to d4, black is getting a very active play. So, I mean, also not, you don't have to play something like that. You can try and develop pieces, but essentially black is feeling good here. So you don't want to take on d5, but also possible is c5. After bishop to c7, bishop to c2. With these two bishops, you are keeping the attack on these diagonals, and this is looking pretty good for white. I mean, black has this d pawn, which is kind of passed, but there aren't any immediate threats. And also here on the queen side, white has has enough expansion, and he could go for some chances. But okay, here instead of all of this, we had knight to c3, adding pressure to d5. But this allows f6 to be played by Adhiban. We have pawn captures, queen captures, and now essentially, yeah, Adhiban is kind of playing a dangerous game here. He is going on f6, but going on this diagonal where the bishop is. But as it seems, there aren't any that good discoveries by this knight. So if you go anywhere here, even capture on d5, queen can just capture on b2. There aren't any that big of threats. One thing you can do maybe is play c5, and if bishop to c7, now knight to d5 works, because after queen to b2 you have knight to c7. After rook to b8, your pawn up, knight can come to b5, and then on d6. So a very good game for white. So of course now after c5 you have to play bishop to d8, but this doesn't look that good for black. So here instead of that, Kryvoruchko played knight to a4, and now bishop to d4 defending, knight captures and knight captures. Now let's see if bishop to h7 works. So the first idea that comes to mind, king to h7, bishop captures, and now queen can actually capture, because after queen captures you have knight to e2 forking the king and queen. So essentially after king moves, knight d4, black is a piece up, and this doesn't work for white. So you don't want to go for this. Essentially here the knight stays pinned for a little bit, but yeah, Adhiban goes for it because he has some other ideas. Now king to h1, moving out of the way so there are no more checks, and now queen to g5, threatening checkmate on g2, rook to g1 defending, and now e5. So the whole point and the whole idea, my idea, is why I wanted to show you this game, because I thought when I first saw this game is probably Kryvoruchko had some preparation for this game up until one point, and from that point on he just started making some really strange moves, like knight to a4 here, defending like king to h1, rook to g1. I'm not saying that there are that many better moves, but essentially things are looking good for black. And also definitely I was sure that he wasn't that good in his preparation, because at this moment he took on d5. This is just, I guess he overcalculated. I mean, it's difficult to see all of the possible variations here, but essentially after this Adhiban played rook to f6, and yeah, white cannot hold against black's attack here. Rook will come on h6, and there isn't anything that you can do to stop it. Here bishop to f1 was played, adding another defender, but rook to h6. Threat is rook to h2, and after king captures, queen to h4 is checkmate. So here h3 was played, but now knight from d to e2 comes, attacking the rook, and also once again threatening to capture on h3. What you can do, you can try and capture like this, but this doesn't help because bishop h3, as I've said, if pawn captures, then you have simple rook to h3 checkmate. So you can do that. You play bishop to h5, but now bishop to g2. If king moves, then you have this checkmate, and if rook captures, then you have this checkmate. So essentially whatever you do, you're just losing the game. So this is why Adhiban didn't took the knight. He played queen to b3, but essentially all the ideas stay, and bishop to h3 was played. And in this position, Kryvoruchko just resigned the game. The reasons are the same. As I said, if you capture with the queen, for example, then rook captures, pawn captures, and this is checkmate. And if you capture with the pawn right away, then this is checkmate. The next move will be bishop to g2, so you cannot do anything about it. Okay, so this is pretty much it for this game. I hope you enjoyed it. It is a pretty interesting game from black's perspective. You play the Caro-Kann advanced variation, how to actually go about attacking white very soon. So okay, this is pretty much it, as I've said, for the game, and now the announcement. So for some of you who may, so for those of you who don't know, some of you maybe know, who follow me on my social media, that today I've written a couple of posts that essentially I'm applying, yeah, essentially that I want to participate in the next Leeches League. So what it is it is essentially a league played with teams consisting of 6 players. It is played on leeches.org, and it is a classical time control. So it isn't blitz, bullet, or something like that. It is actually played 45 minutes plus 45 seconds increment. So you get 45 seconds per move that you play. So this is something that was quite interesting to me, because I wanted to get more and more back into active chess playing. So I look at this like a reasonable idea, like a one step towards that. So I definitely want to play. For those of you who don't know, essentially you don't have to find 5 other players so that 6 of you can apply as a team. Essentially you can apply yourself, and then the moderators of the Leeches tournament, Leeches League, or what is it called, doesn't really matter, will essentially pair you with other players, dependent on ratings. So you have a certain classical rating, and then and they will pair you with other players, so that essentially all the teams will have, like, you know, equal chances in the end. But there is one other thing why I actually made this announcement, is that essentially in one of the dedicated fields you can write if for some reason you want to play with another player in your team. So this is my actually call out to you. If some of you for some reason would like to play with me on my team, you can message me on my social media, so on Facebook, on Twitter. Just message me that you want to participate in team with me in this Lichess League. Write me your username. I will contact you on Lichess, and if everything's fine, come Wednesday, so in 2 days, I will be registering around 8 p.m. Central European time. And yeah, the first 5 people who actually message me, I will use their usernames, and in the end that will be pretty much it. So yeah, first come first served. This is pretty much it. If I for some reason forgot to tell you something, I will write all the information in the description of this video. So yeah, it will be a lot of fun. It will be in the course of next 8 weeks. I will try to play all the games. I will definitely play all the games, and I guess it will be a lot of fun. So yeah, that being said, I would like to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.